Hello friends, welcome to your channel Make Physics Easier by Mayur Agrawal. In today's series, we are going to study exercise 5C of factorization related to concise mathematics. So, in the last video, I have explained you the factorization with the help of middle term splitting. But right now, in the exercise 5C, the identity which we have to use, that is a square minus b square is equal to a plus b and a minus b. I hope so. This is the favorite identity of so many students because this is very easy identity also. So on the basis of this identity, we are going to solve exercise 5C along with some questions, some techniques, some steps of previous exercises we have to also keep in our mind. So without any delay, let's start today's video. Exercise 5C. The question number 1. 25a square minus 9b square. So observe it carefully. If we compare this by the identity, it can be applied. But first we have to convert it into complete squares. So it can be written as 5a whole square. It can be written as 3b whole square. So after applying the identity, 5a plus 3b in first bracket and 5a minus 3b in the second bracket. Only this is the solution. Yes, everyone is thinking that so much easy questions. Yes, but I am telling you, in exams, you will not get the straight questions with the help of this identity. As we are proceeding in the exercise, different challenges, different situation we observe, then you have to observe carefully each solution. Question number 2. It is saying that a square minus 2a plus 3b whole square. Now, observe it carefully. If you consider, let 2a plus 3b is equal to x. So the question can be written as a square minus x square. According to this identity, this can be written as a plus x, a minus x. Now apply the value of x. A plus 2a plus 3b and a minus 2a minus 3b. So it will become 3a plus 3b and it will become minus a minus 3b. We can take 3 as common from this side. So remaining a plus b and minus from this side. So a plus 3b. So this will be the final answer. So in this question also the identity is same but a little change because this term can be working as x. So the application of identity will become more easy. Now we are coming to question number 3. It is written a square minus 81 b minus c square. So the first term is written in whole square, okay, but the second term is not written. So we can write it as 9b minus c up to the whole square. Now let 9b minus c is equal to x. So the question will become a square minus x square. Again we can write it as a plus x in first bracket, a minus x in the second bracket. Now apply the value a plus 9b minus c and after that in the second bracket a minus 9b minus c. Now solve it. So it will become a plus 9b minus 9c and it will become a minus 9b plus 9c. So this is the final solution of question number 3. So we can see that in the first question we just directly apply the identity, but in second and third we have to change the terms a little, then we have to apply the identity. Now we are coming to question number 4. Question number 4 is saying 25 2a minus b to the whole square minus 81b square. Now the first term can be written as 5 2a minus b up to the whole square and 81b can be written as 9b whole square. Now this complete term can be acting as a. So a plus b in the first bracket. So in first bracket we can write a. So this is the a and plus b. And in the second bracket a minus b. Now open them. So it will become 10a minus 5b plus 9b in the first bracket. And 10a minus 5b minus 9b in the second bracket. So it will become 10a plus 4b. And after that it will become 10a minus 14b. Now in the first bracket 2 can be taken as common. In the second bracket also 2 can be taken. So 5a plus 2b and 5a minus 7b. So the final answer is 4, 5a plus 2b, 5a minus 7b. As I told you, always we have to simplify, we have to factorize the expression as much as possible. It is not like that if you leave your answer till this step, then your answer is exactly perfectly correct. But because in between these two numbers, 2 can also take it as common, and between these two numbers, 2 can also be taken as common. So we have to take it. So this is the question number 4. So as we can see that the identity is very easy, but sometimes the question is written in such a way that the application of identity is not become so easy. We have to make it easier. Then only we can say that this question is easy. And that is the motto of my channel, make mathematics and physics both easier. Now we are coming to question number 5. Question number 5 is saying 50a cube minus 2a. Now one step here different. Between these two numbers, first of all we have to take 2a as common. So the result will be 25a square minus 1. Now inside the bracket we have to write 5a whole square minus 1 whole square. Now it will become the identity 5a plus 1 and 5a minus 1. So this will be the answer of solution number question number 5. Now we are coming to question number 6. 4a square b minus 9b cube. Again we have to take common. Now we are taking b as common. So 4a square minus 9b square. Now we have to convert them. 4a square can be written as 2a whole square and 9b whole square can be written as 3b whole square. So in the first bracket 2a plus 3b, in the second bracket 2a minus 3b. So this will be the solution of question number 6. So all the questions are very easy until you will not know how to apply. Question number 7 is saying 3a to the power 5 minus 108a cube. Now you have to take 3a cube as common. So the result will be a square minus 36. So 3a cube will remain same. It can be written as a square minus 6 square. So 3a cube will remain same. In the first bracket a plus 6. In second bracket a minus 6. So always remember, if something is common in the very first step, then you have to take it. Otherwise you cannot proceed. Now question number 8. It is saying that 9a minus 2 whole square minus 16a plus 2 whole square. Now observe this question. This question is looking larger only, but it can be solved with the help of this identity only. It can be written as 3a minus 2 up to the whole square, and it can be written as 4a plus 2 up to the whole square. Now this complete term will be acting as a and this complete term will acting as b. So when you will apply identity a plus b, so a and plus b, this is first bracket, and after that a and minus b, this will come in the second bracket. Now solve it. It will become 3a minus 6 plus 4a plus 8, and it will become 3a minus 6 minus 4a minus 8. Just solve it. 3a and 4a, it will become 7a plus 2, and 3a minus 4a minus a and minus 14. You can take minus as common, so it will become in the front sign 7a plus 2 and a plus 14. So that will be the final answer of solution number 8. Now proceeding further, we are coming to question number 9. It is saying that a to the power 4 minus 1. So first of all we have to convert a to the power 4 in square terms. So we can write a square to the whole square, and 1 can be written as 1 whole square only. Now according to the identity a square plus 1 and a square minus 1. This is the final answer? No. We have to solve this bracket more. So a square plus 1, this can be written as a whole square and this can be written as 1 square. So a square plus 1 remains same because no identity can be applied here. But in this a plus 1 and a minus 1. So these are the final 3 brackets. So in some questions the same identity can be applied 2 times or 3 times also. It depends on the question. So this is the question number 9. So now proceeding further, we are coming to question number 10. So I hope so every one of you who are watching my video, all of you are understanding very well. But I am telling you, as we are proceeding in the exercise, the level of the questions will increase. Question number 10. It is saying that a cube plus 2a square minus a minus 2. Now observe this question. In this question, in the first two brackets, first two terms, we can take a square as common. So a plus 2, and after last two terms minus 1, so a plus 2. So we can write it as a plus 2 in first bracket, a square minus 1 in bracket. It means we have to take the help of grouping the terms also. Now we have to apply the identity. A plus 2, we can write a square minus 1 square. So a plus 2 in the first bracket and a plus 1, a minus 1. This is the final answer. So this was question number 10. Now we are coming to question number 11. It is written as a plus b whole cube minus a minus b. So observe it carefully. Right now the question is not looking similar, but after taking minus a plus b, now you can take a plus b as common. So from the first term, the remaining will be a plus b whole square, and from the next term, the remaining will be 1. Now you can write it as a plus b to the whole square minus 1 can be written as 1 square. Now a square minus b square. In the place of a, we have to place a plus b. So it is, this a plus b is outside. So in first bracket a plus b, and in second bracket a minus b. Okay, so this is the method of solving question number 11. Now proceeding further, we are coming to question number 12. It is saying that a minus 1 minus b minus 1. If we observe this question, none of the step is possible, only other than multiply. So a square minus a minus b square plus b. So a square minus b square grouped together and minus a minus b grouped together. So it will become a plus b, a minus b and minus a minus b. Now between these two terms, we can take a minus b as common. So the remaining are a plus b minus 1. So that will be the final answer of question number 12. Now question number 13. So sometimes everything is possible. So we don't have to forget those terms, those values, those situations which we have already solved in previous exercises. Question number 13 is saying 4a square minus in brackets 4b square plus 4bc plus c square. Now we have to observe it carefully. This can be written as 2a whole square, and these all three terms can be written as 2b plus c whole square. How? Look at carefully. If you open 2b plus c whole square, a plus b whole square, so the answer is a square plus 2ab and plus b square. So when you solve it, the answer will be 4b square plus 4bc plus c square, and all the same terms are here. So we have to apply those identities also. Now this is acting as a, this is acting as b. In the first bracket a plus b, in the second bracket a minus b. So now just solve it. 2a plus 2b plus c and 2a minus 2b minus c. So that is the final answer of question number 13. Now proceeding further, we are coming to question number 14. It is saying that 4a square minus 12a plus 9 minus 49b square. Now you have to observe an identity in the first three terms. If you group the first three terms together, why we are grouping these terms together? Because they are related to a, and this is the complete square. If we group the 49b with them, then it is not possible. Otherwise here ab will be there. If with the help of these three terms we can make identity, but if we join 49b in place of 9, then there must be ab also. So these are forming the formula of 2a minus 3 whole square, and this is forming the formula of 7b. Now in the first bracket a plus b, and in the second bracket a minus b. So that is the final answer, because nothing is possible after this step. So sometimes you have to apply the identities of a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square also, because to make the question light. Okay, so this is the question number 14. Now proceeding further, we are coming to the next question. Question number 13. 14 we have completed. Now we are coming to question number 15. So all the identities which you have completed in expansions chapter, they can also be used. Yes, now question number 15 is saying 9a square plus 3a minus 8b minus 64b square. Now we are observing that we have these two terms ab and these two terms ab. So we have to group together 9a square minus 64b square. These are grouped together and plus 3a minus 8b grouped together. We can write it as 3a whole square minus 8b whole square, and this can written similar as same. So it will become, after applying the identity, 3a plus 8b and 3a minus 8b, and this will also remain same. Now we can take 3a minus 8b as common. So from the first term 3a plus 8b will be left, and from the last term 1 is left. So this will be the final answer. So we have to be very careful while we are grouping. It is not like that always grouping will be same. Sometimes a plus b whole square identity can be applied. Sometimes a minus b whole square identity can be applied. And sometimes, like in this question, a square minus b square identity can be applied. So as I told you, we have to think about one step forward to solve these questions. Now we are coming to question number 16. It is saying that 4a square minus 12a plus 9 minus 49b square. I hope so this question is question number 16 is repeating. Yes, question number 14 and question number 16, I think I have told you. Maybe by mistake I have told you. This question I have told you before. So maybe again I am telling you. These three terms are forming the identity of 2a minus 3 whole square, and this is forming the identity of 7b whole square. So a plus b and a minus b. I hope so I have forgot to tell you any other question, and I have told you this one. Yes, I have forgot to tell you question number 14. So now observe question number 14 actually. What that was? That was 4a square minus 49b square plus 2a minus 7b. This is also an easy question. This can be written as 2a square. This can be written as 7b square. Group together, and 2a minus 7b group together. So in first bracket 2a plus 7b, in second bracket 2a minus 7b, and this 2a minus 7b written similarly. Now 2a minus 7b we can take common. So from the first bracket we have 2a plus 7b, and from the next bracket we have nothing is left, so 1. So this is the question number 14 solution. In the place of 14 I have repeated question number 16. So 16 questions we completed. So remember that how to take common. If we have taken completely, like in this question, 2a minus 7b we have taken completely. So after plus sign, 1 will be left. So these 16 questions we have completed. Now we are coming to the next question, question number 17. Question number 17 is saying 4xy minus x square minus 4y square plus z square. Now the first three numbers, if we take z square in the initially, first we have written z. After taking minus common, x square plus 4y square minus 4xy. Now they can be written as an identity. The identity of x minus 2y whole square. So a plus b in the first bracket and a minus b in the second bracket. So along with the grouping, you have to also take care of all the signs, because if we group together these three terms are not forming any identity now. But as we have taken minus as common, so now the sign has changed. Now they can form an identity. So before taking common or before grouping the terms, you have to make sure that they are forming a proper identity or not. So this is the question number 17. Now we are coming to question number 18. It is a little lengthier question. A square plus b square plus minus c square minus d square minus 2ab minus 2cd. Now observe it carefully. AB term can be grouped with a square plus b square. So these three terms will be grouped together, minus c square plus d square plus 2cd, because all these three are negative and we have taken minus sign as common, so the remaining is this. So this can be formed as a minus b whole square, and this can be formed as c plus d whole square. So in the first bracket a plus b, in the second bracket a minus b. So this will be the final answer of question number 18. So sometimes both brackets can be identity. Now coming to question number 19. It is 4x square minus 12ax minus y square minus z square minus 2yz and plus 9a square. So in this 4x square minus 12ax and plus 9a square, these terms we will group together, and after taking minus common, y square plus z square plus 2yz as in one bracket. So these are the forming identity of 2x minus 3a up to the whole square, and they are forming the identity of y plus z. Now simply a and plus b, and in the second bracket a minus b in the second bracket. So this is the solution of question number 19. In question number 18, obviously we have to arrange a square, b square and 2ab bit together. So with the help of similar method, x square ax, so a square can be grouped with these two terms, and y square z square 2yz, they will be remain collectively. So you have to be very careful, very logical while grouping the terms, because if you do not apply the logics, then you cannot group the terms together. So this is the question number 19. Now we are coming to the question number 20. It is written a square minus 1 b square minus 1 plus 4ab. Now we have to multiply first, because nothing is possible in this. So a square b square minus a square minus b square plus 1 plus 4ab. Now a square b square and plus 1 and minus a square minus b square plus 2ab plus 2ab also. Now why I am breaking 4ab as 2ab and plus 2ab? The reason is because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overall we have 5 terms, and we need 6 terms to form identity. That is why 1 2ab will go through with these two terms, and 1 2ab will go through the a square and b square. So what we can write, observe it carefully, a square b square plus 1 plus 2ab, and minus taking common, a square plus b square minus 2ab. Now these three terms are forming the identity of ab plus 1 to the whole square, and they are forming the identity of a minus b whole square. Now again, in the first bracket a plus b, and in the second bracket a minus b. So this is the final solution of question number 20. So in this way you have to solve all the questions of exercise 5C. Now in the next video I meet you with the next questions, question number 21 to 30 of exercise 5C. Till then, watch my channel, like and subscribe. Thank you.